20th of December 2023, President Bola Tinubu announced a 50% discount on road transport travel across designated routes and free train rides across the country. That will run from December 21 to 2023, December 21, 2023, expected to run to January 4, 2024. A move by the federal government as part of efforts to ease the burden of transportation, especially during the Yuletide. Although the Yuletide is over, but in an act of benevolence of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the gesture has been extended for the free train services to 7th January to allow more Nigerians who are yet to come back after the holidays enjoy the benefit. The routes are Lagos to Ibadan, Warri to Itakpe, Abuja to Kaduna. But with all that has been said and done, reports reaching us from our correspondents across the country say the rush by commuters can be overwhelming, plus certain areas of concern that needs to be checked for future purposes. This will form part of our discussion tonight. And just recently, the chairman of the Committee on the Implementation of the End-of-the-Year Transportation Subsidy Program, Mr. Dele Alake, expressed satisfaction over the successes recorded so far, as more than 160,000 passengers have benefited from the program, with the numbers still counting. How was the situation managed across boards? What were the hiccups encountered by Nigerians even while savoring this positive initiative? Our correspondents from across the country will feed us with some answers, while we'll engage our guests, Yusuf Adeni, Secretary General, Road Transport Employees Association of Nigeria, and Managing Director, Nigerian Railway Corporation, Mr. Fidat Ohiria, who will be joining us from our Ibadan Network Center. This is Weekend File. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Ruth Aguele. Let's begin with the news. President Bola Tinubu congratulates President Felix Tshisekedi of the Democratic Republic of Congo on his re-election. In a statement by presidential spokesman Ajuri Ngelale, President Tinubu commends Democratic Republic of Congo for ensuring a successful conduct of the last election and for exercising their rights without resorting to acts inimical to the sustenance of democracy. The president, while congratulating President Tshisekedi, says his statesmanship in handling regional and continental affairs will no doubt help democracy to survive in Africa. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, and the National Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, have given the federal government's assurance in tackling the challenge of infrastructure deficit across the country, in line with the Renewed Hope agenda. This was at the inauguration of some projects executed by the Nasarawa State government in Akwanga and Lafia. Aliyu Tijani reports that the event also witnessed the defection of Senator Solomon Ewuga and his supporters from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress.
Yet another season of project inauguration in Nasarawa State as the government is sustaining its momentum in delivering life-changing infrastructure across the state. From Karu, now in Akwanga, where township roads and the remodeled VIP lodge were inaugurated by the national chairman of APC, Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje.
You can see that Akwanga is becoming another small city in Nasarawa State. So you can see how the government is improving.
Similarly, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, inaugurated the newly built Trade Union Congress, TUC House in Lafia, that will promote cordial relationship between government and the organized labor.
This is testimony. The fact that when labor and government work together, beautiful fruits like this are the result.
Nasarawa has greatest prospects that we can see, both in oil and gas, minerals, agriculture, and the kind of humanity, the people we have. But all these resources will only materialize and become useful if there is peace.
Meanwhile, Former Deputy Governor, Senator Solomon Ewuga, has returned to the All Progressives Congress fold with his team and supporters who were received by the APC National Bigwig Aliyu Tijani. NTA News.
Away from politics, a look at aviation. The Nigerian aviation industry has seen significant growth recently, and the resultant effect of this have become evident in its contributions to the nation's gross domestic product. However, issues such as infrastructure development, as well as safety and regulatory concerns, still persist. In this report, correspondent Aliyu Kabir takes a look at some of these issues and the ongoing efforts by the present administration towards enhancing the industry's efficiency and safety standards within the year 2023 under review.
I understand. I've read your roadmap.
With the swearing-in of the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, in August 2023, the Minister, while assuming office, assured all staff of the ministry and its agencies of a robust strategy towards repositioning the sector into a world-class standards in the best interest of passengers and Nigerians as a whole. To match his words with action, the Minister immediately swung into action with a facility tour of the infrastructure at the major international airports in Nigeria. Facilities at both domestic and international wings of the airports were inspected, where the Minister assured Nigerians of the total overhauling of the infrastructure to enhance safety standards.
Let us get people who can maintain them and can hold them responsible.
One of the critical projects necessary for the development of the aviation infrastructure is the construction of the second runway, which is also one of the focus of the renewed hope agenda of the present administration. To that regard, the Minister of Aviation and his counterpart of the FCT, Yesem Wike, met with the Abuja indigents to find ways of possible compensations to allow for the commencement of work at the site. The meeting has yielded positive result with the outright payment of over 800 million naira compensation to those affected by the construction of the second runway of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja.
You can be sure that the benefits of a second runway around the Jiwa community will be immense.
Despite huge investment by the government towards improving aviation safety standards and regulations, a number of crashes involving passenger planes have been recorded within the year under review. For instance, in the month of November 2023 alone, more than 3 air accidents occurred at different occasions, including the November 14th incident involving an aircraft belonging to Nigerian Airlines value jet skidded off the runway at the Port Harcourt International Airport in Rivers State.
We are also not blind and deaf to the cries of Nigerians of recent about delayed and cancelled flights.
The concern of the passengers in year 2023 and always include their safety, comfort, transparency, and affordability in pricing. Timely and accurate updates during delays or disruptions are also critical for passenger satisfaction. As the year is winding down, the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development assured Nigerians of the government commitment towards improving aviation industry in line with the global best practices as placed on the top priority of the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In Abuja, Aliyu Kabir, NTA.
On power, Bauchi State Government has reaffirmed its commitment towards complementing federal government's efforts towards the provision of adequate power supply in the state. The State Commissioner of Power, Science and Technology, Modibo Abdulkadir Ahmed, gave the assurance while inspecting power facilities renovation work embarked upon by the state government. Let's hear from Wazu Hassan.
Bauchi State Government in December last year set up a committee for the renovation and upgrade of power, science and technology facilities across the state. The commissioner, represented by the Director of Power, Science and Technology of the Ministry, Adamu Babangida Aliyu, said the decision is in recognition of the important role power supply plays towards socio-economic development of any nation.
He decided to revisit the site and to make sure all the vandalization, they will renovate it and give the light to a community around that place in this local.
He warned that government will deal decisively with anybody caught destroying or stealing power facilities in the state. Some of the beneficiaries commended the state government for the gesture and promised to protect the facilities from vandalization.
We thank the government for responding. And before the year ends, the government provided a transformer. So we are very happy. We thank His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Bauchi State.
In Bauchi, Moaz Hassan, NTA News.
We'll take a break now, and when we come back, we'll delve into a conversation on 50% discount by federal government on road transport and free train service that has been extended till tomorrow. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Accolades have continued to follow federal government's extension of the 100% rebate on train ride till 7th of January. Now, this magnanimity by the government for Nigerians in Abuja who benefited from the free train ride is unprecedented. Vivian Ezedife, who monitored the exercise in Abuja, brings us up to speed on the latest extension of the exercise.
The scheme started 21st of December 2023 for selected mini and luxurious buses, as well as free train ride, initially slated to end on the 4th of January. This is an effort to lessen the burden of paying exorbitant fares during the Yuletide season. Report from the Presidential Committee Chairman on the implementation of the end-of-year transportation subsidy program revealed over 160,000 Nigerians benefited from the program so far. The President again extended the free train services to the 7th of January. These Nigerians say will provide succor to more train passengers nationwide. An expert who commended the President's initiative, however, says the exercise would have been more effective with a central transport system in Nigeria than using the private sector to drive the initiative.
I want to emphasize, transport is the life wire of the economy. Transport is like the artery in your body. You don't give your artery to somebody else to manage.
For beneficiaries, the extension on the train services is a welcome development. Mariam Suleiman had never traveled by train, however, says the free services has enabled her to save some money as well as experienced traveling by train.
Traveler. Yes, it was a smooth ride. I actually enjoyed it. I'm looking forward for more. I'm looking forward to more travel by train. It's safe and it was smooth.
For some commuters, it was a seamless exercise, while others say the scheme had varying challenges.
We thank him, God bless him for the free train, and I really enjoyed the ride.
My child became wounded because of the crowd. They didn't allow us show the ticket to pass. They crowded us in enclosure. They allow us became, I think we were more than 150 in the space before they opened the door, around 5 minutes to 8. And everybody was rushing to go into the train. I know the president is trying to do a very good thing for the people of Nigeria, but I think all of us are our problems.
Operators at the train station attributed some of the visible challenges with network.
When they say something is a free ticket, the congestion will be much, but in as much as 1 or 2 persons can obtain, what we will advise the passengers is they should be more patient. There's a lot of traffic.
According to one of the operators, 3,008 passengers benefit from the exercise on a daily basis.
The 2 weeks that was actually given in the first place, from 21st down to 4th, and with extension of additional 3 days, which is Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. We are equal to the tax, and we are doing our best.
One of the operators of the 50% discount for luxury bus travelers said it was a success despite the short notice.
It was a very good distance. It increased the number of passengers because initially people who didn't want to travel took advantage of the palliative to travel.
The consensus is that for more proactive and impactful experience, adequate public enlightenment must be done ahead of time for laudable policies that will have a direct bearing on the people for optimal understanding and impact. In Abuja, Vivian Ezedife, NTA News.
Well, Lagosians were not left out as the implementation of the federal government's discounted fares has been described by passengers as a relief that addressed the problem of hike in cost of transportation during the Yuletide season. Joel Popola reports that with no fewer than 15,000 beneficiaries at the popular Jibowu Park in Lagos, stakeholders want the initiative to be consistent during festive periods.
Lagos remains pivotal at the center of the discounted transport fare, with a mega city either a point of departure or destination for majority of the routes outlined. Jibowu Park is one of the most preferred parks for long-distance travels, with buses available day and night to convey passengers to any part of the country. While day one of the discount implementation witnessed a lull, the few days thereafter witnessed unprecedented influx of passengers due to more awareness and consciousness that traveling for the festive season will be at a subsidized rate of 50%, courtesy of the federal government. The premises of the selected transport companies became the center of attraction, with many struggling to cope with the influx of passengers.
A lot of them wouldn't have been traveled if not for the 50% from the government. It really encouraged them to travel.
It helped many people. But they did not finish it. I thought it would continue. They stopped it. They're supposed to continue to help us.
No, they think good, because some people, they know how plan to travel. Before, they had travel with a small chicken money.
Yes, I can say that the discount is very nice.
To nip some of the challenges that occurred during the period of the discount, in the board, stakeholders emphasized need for better planning and a standard price for all selected companies to avert sharp practices.
They should extend it to all other companies so that everybody will get this opportunity.
The passengers want the selected transport companies to improve their customer relations, while government representatives should be present at the park to ensure each free operation. In Lagos, Joel Bukbola, NTA News.
All right, let's also get to the neighboring city, talking about Ibadan. With less than 24 hours to the free train ride powered by President Bola Tinubu's administration, Monia train station has continued to witness a large number of travelers. We hear Lukman Hassan visited the Obafemi Awolowo train station in Ibadan and reports that the managing director, Nigerian Railway Corporation, Mr. Fidat Ohiria, was on ground for an assessment of the mop-up of the exercise.
And gesture of President Bola Tinubu in easing the transportation during the festive season. The passengers noted that it assisted them economically in shuttling between Ibadan and Lagos. They called for improvement in the online ticketing process to ensure that more Nigerians benefited from the free train ride.
It's a good thing, actually. It's made traveling easy during this festive period. I would say that it's a very good thing.
I think what they did, these are welcome now, very good idea from the government.
The managing director and chief executive officer of the Nigerian Railway Corporation, Fidat Ohiria, explained that the ticketing process has been fully automated. With few hours to the end of the free train ride declared by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the 21st of December, which was initially supposed to end on the 4th of January, but later extended to the 7th of January 2024. Passengers are calling on the president to reduce the cost of rail transportation in the country, as this will allow a lot of them to use the train as their mode of transportation. They believe that it is one of the most secured ways of moving across the country. In Ibadan, Lukman Hassan, NTA.
All right, thank you very much, Lukman. Let's quickly delve into our conversation, looking at the 50% discounted free transportation, road transportation, and also free train services that has been extended till tomorrow. We have our guest in the studio and also joining us from our Ibadan Network Center. We have Mr. Yusuf Adeni, Secretary General, Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Adeni.
Thank you.
All right, let's also welcome the Managing Director of Nigerian Railway Corporation, Mr. Fidat Ohiria, who will be, all right, he's there from our Ibadan Network Center. Thank you so much for joining us.
New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year to you. Good to see you. All right, let me just start with you, Mr. Adeni. Going by the road transportation, we witnessed 50% discount. It started 21st December, actually, 2023. And we saw that elapsed on the 4th of January 2024. From your observation as the Secretary of Road Transport, Association of Road Transport, what would you tell us were your observations going by compliance from the companies that were selected? We understand not every company was chosen to be part of this.
Thank you. Firstly, the company that were selected by the government, and we are not part of enforcement. So, but from the view of what people are saying, they did what they can do as their own. But what we are expecting is that in the near future, the government will extend this to go round. It will not be a sectional people to enjoy the free 50% discount from the federal government. Should go round. Should be a national something, because people from Sokoto, Ilela, Gadabao, from Kebbi, Argungu, Bachaka, to Lulu, Jiga, to Niger, Kontagora, Mina, go to Baga, go to Kebbi, go to Katsina, go to Rivers, Ahoda, go to everywhere, Okigwe in Imo, or Damatru in Yobe, or you think of any other thing, Shangom, Billiri, Kaltungo, all part of Nigeria, they are all citizens, they are entitled to enjoy the same thing. It should not be sectional. And what we are expecting, that this will go a long way to elevate a sovereign from to elevate the sovereign of the masses who want to move from one location to another to see their families. So it's a good thing. The federal government, the president have good intention to elevate the sovereign of the masses of Nigeria. And we that are working with the government should support the initiative. But the first space is not bad. They are trying, and they should keep more. And those who are in the upper room, who are decision makers, should do more, so that this thing can go around. Should not be a sectional or one part. That is the truth. Not everybody has access. If you now say luxurious buses, what percentage does it cover in transportation?
Okay.
The transportation is the mover of the economy of the country, in which we cover 95%.
Okay.
We leave 5% for the rail, road, air, and water system.
Okay, Mr. Adeni, let me come in there. Of course, you've stated your point very clearly, and what we must also commend the federal government. This is the first time Nigerians will be experiencing this discounted fare when it comes to transportation, especially for festive season. Let me just quickly get to you, Mr. Ohiria. You were at the Obafemi Awolowo train station to witness firsthand, compliance from operators there, and also how Nigerians have conducted themselves, going by the extension we're seeing, which will lapse tomorrow. Tell us, what were your observations?
Today operation was quite encouraging. I said that because senior management were at the station, deployed to the station, both from the ministry and Nigerian Railway Corporation. What I noticed today is that most people don't still abide of getting their ticket online before coming. And we also experienced some people getting multiple tickets, whether they are traveling or not, which is, I believe, is sheer wickedness to Nigerians who really wanted to travel. So I think we have learned a lesson from this operation. This is the first time we are going online to do the free ride. The last time we did it, there was no automated ticketing. People come queue, give them tickets, and it was a serious problem for us at the stations. So luckily for us, we have automated ticket. People can go online and get their ticket. But some people played game on it. But we are looking at the manifest, and we are interrogating it, and we are finding out that some people bought multiple tickets same day, same person, same number, and we pass it to the necessary security agent to fish them out. So we've learned our lesson, and we hope next time it happens. There are certain things I cannot say on air that we need to work on to ensure that those issues, because it is free, or like before that, you need to validate your ticket on NIMS platform, and it's not free. So the ticket provider, eventually, they remove that, and people can buy multiple tickets because it costs 300 naira to do that. So I think we do our study analysis and find a better way to ensure we don't have that issue of people going online to get multiple tickets and at the same time trying to sell it to real people who want to travel on train.
Mr. Okiria,
So I came to Ibadan because I know the movement is towards Lagos, or like also from Kaduna, people coming back to Abuja, and from the south coming from Warri to Itakbe so that they can get to Abuja. So we have deployed our officers there to ensure they manage the situation. Like today, when we saw some few people who hadn't tickets, we addressed them and said, because you have multiple stations en route, you can find some empty seat now, but somebody had bought it to enter to a station, Omiado station or Abeokuta station to Abeokuta. So we have to issue them physical ticket. If the person who bought ahead of time enter the train, will you have the honor of allowing that person at least benefiting every time he's paid online getting the ticket than you that we are giving passage instantly? Because this time around, there are real travelers, not people going just enter the train for fun. But these guys are now returning back to their various place of any livelihoods.
It's good you've pointed out the racketeering that the corporation is addressing at the moment. But I'd like you to quickly respond to the issue of the overwhelming crowd. Ibadan is just one of the points there that you witnessed. There are other parts of the country. Abuja, we saw the reports where a lady, shared her experience on how she was being, overcrowded with her child. Going forward, what do you think should be put in check, when such incidents occurs? If it's free, how people will want to embrace that, in terms of coordination by the corporation.
The major step is people get their ticket online and get to the station on time. Yesterday, I was at the Lagos station. We closed our gate 3:45 for the 4 o'clock train. But you see people running 5 minutes to 4, trying to have access. And it takes you more than 5 minutes to get to the departure hall and get to the platform to board the train. So it's still advice to our people that when you have made up your mind to travel, get to the place on time. You see them running to catch the train. Our trains keep to time, and one is 4. Even if I'm the person to travel, they will leave me and go. So you see people now crowding when it is 5 minutes to train. We open the gate 2 hours ahead of time and close 15 minutes to the departure time. But people don't follow that. And as a result, knowing that once it is the time to depart, the train will depart, they try to rush. But we have also have demarcations on our train stations where people should queue, and we make announcements. I think with time, our people will adjust and learn to obey simple instructions, not just at the train station, in various places.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Okiria. We'll definitely get back to you, but we have to take this break. Please stay tuned. Welcome back. Cost of transportation during the end of the year festivities is usually a source of concern for travelers who take advantage of the season to visit family and friends. We've seen that established. For Enugu residents, the 50% transport subsidy provided for travelers was received with gratitude. Let's hear from Susan Eze.
Though the arrangement, as explained by the transporters, is for the luxury buses and not for the shuttles, the 50% discount in transport costs provided by the federal government came as a welcome relief to the travelers.
Normally from Enugu to Lagos is more than what I'm paying right now. I'm paying 18,000 naira, and which is a laudable effort by the federal government.
For the transport companies, the initiative by government, first of its kind, is a welcome development, and they are glad to be part of the federal government's efforts towards alleviating the sufferings of the people.
They're supposed to pay 36,000 naira, but because of that 50% discount, they slashed it to 18,000. They were happy because they have not experienced such before.
The program, according to the head of operations, the Young Shall Grow Motors, Chukwuemeka Onyenwe, was a huge success. Speaking to the crew on telephone, he confirmed that the company alone, using the 89-seater luxury buses, conveyed over 25,000 travelers to different parts of the country under the federal government transport discount arrangement. Describing the rebate arrangement as a commendable one, the people believe that greater publicity would make for more beneficiaries subsequently. They are, however, hopeful that the price of petroleum products will be made to come down to make transportation affordable to all.
It helps some people that were aware, because some people were not aware.
In Enugu, Susan Eze, NTA News.
And in Kaduna, the free train services provided by the federal government has received commendation from sections of beneficiaries due to how it was given to them. It gave them the opportunity rather to spend the holiday with their loved ones. Dauda Mohammed reports that residents say the 3 days extension by the federal government is a welcome development.
Commuters benefited from free train rides from Kaduna to Abuja, courtesy of the federal government, which coincided with the Christmas and New Year festivities, provided a unique opportunity for Nigerians, especially those battling economic challenges, to travel and spend the season with loved ones and close family relations.
The trip was nice. It was very comfortable. And the AC, we loved it.
Saying a very big thank you to Mr. President. It's actually a very kind gesture. And this is the best way to reach the masses. It is a better way to give joy.
This is a wonderful thing that the government have done. Thank you to the federal government of Nigeria for this opportunity.
Nigerians are started not having hope on the government anymore, but for this, they can see something is free and you come and it becomes difficult. But I can see that people working here have tried. So at least we are started having hope on Nigeria, and Nigeria will be a better place.
And maybe we can have more trains. That would be very nice.
The free train service, apart from providing mobility to travelers, also boosted the economy of the people living around Rigasa, where the train station is situated. Anytime the free train arrives at the station, a beehive of activities could be observed springing up, especially transporters out to take advantage of passengers willing to continue on their journeys. Nigerians have, however, continued to commend the gesture by the federal government.
Next time, government should arrange how people can enter the train, please.
A way forward, I think, if they will be able to strengthen the sites where they book tickets.
Commuters are of the opinion that the free train service should be replicated during all public holidays as a form of holiday gift to Nigerians. Dauda Mohammed, NTA News.
I was just, having a reflection if I could be part of that free train service. Okay, I guess it's still very much around. Mr. Adeni, earlier you shared with us your concerns regarding expanding this kind of initiative in future, talking about having more companies get involved. But share with us, going forward, somebody talked about the discrepancies, in the prices, talking about the rates of the transportation. Even though it was splitted to 50%, it was not a uniform price. So going forward, how can the association, come in to, also assist the federal government to make this initiative thrive?
You see, we as a statutory body, we have structure all over the 774 local government of the country. And by the time government want to do this, even if it is not up to 50%, it will still go a long way to touch the life of citizens of Nigeria. And those are in need, they are in need, it will touch their life. And if the government want to go further, they will still use the same method to do something about the cost of transportation of livestock, foodstuff, and goods, that it will crash down the cost of foodstuff and other things. The inflation will go down. But the government needs to sit with the right people who are organized body, that they can work with the government and achieve this within a very short possible time.
Okay, let me just quickly get to Mr. Okiria there in our Ibadan Network studio. Mr. Okiria, one of the residents in Kaduna talked about strengthening the site for the automated ticket. How would you react to that?
Since I said earlier, we are going to discuss with the providers and find out how they can improve on the availability and less than time on the site of the e-ticketing. So we are also interrogating the system we have. You see, before now, we've not had such a surge. Now that it's free, the surge, I think, showed this twist of getting the online ticket clogged. So we are already making contact with the concessionaires and telling them how to improve and how to expand the bandwidth so that it can accommodate such situation in future. We will work on it and improve on it. That's what I will say. But the major problem is still lies amongst ourselves, where people stay online and try to sabotage the good thing the president has directed us to do by getting tickets more than necessary, and even people traveling tomorrow will be able to access by the time you go to site, the tickets are already exhausted. But we have, as I said earlier, we have printed out the manifest and we are querying it, and I would say we are going to bring those people involved, whether staff or outside people, to book, because the ticket is out of NRO's hand. We concession it to a third party, but people can access it. It's on the web, it's on the app. So, but unknown to them, any action done is being monitored by the server, and we are getting information from the server at what time of date that people booked and who booked with their phone number. We are compiling such. Why would somebody, for instance, on a day have 15 tickets? So we are querying those. We are going to get back to those people sooner than later.
Mr. Okiria,
So
still staying
if
with
we bring
you.
them,
Mr. Okiria.
issue of people going online just out of wickedness, block real people that really want to travel. That is the thing we have now. We are working on it.
All right, very quickly, Mr. Okiria, also of concern, of course, we know tomorrow is the deadline for the extension of the free train service, Lagos to Ibadan, Warri to Itakpe, and then Abuja to Kaduna. These are routes that can be checked. So going forward from, we're not saying any train will experience any service this night, but tomorrow we want to believe that the services will be overwhelmed. What have you put in place to ensure that it's not really what we're picturing, but there is coordination tomorrow?
What we have done in conjunction with the ministry is to send high people up, directors that can take decision if they have adverse that may have adverse effect on people not be able to travel or get tickets. We can use their discretion to permit or not to permit people on board. So I will be on ground in Ibadan tomorrow, and other people will also be on ground at various places. We know our the pattern of people traveling on train. We have strategically planned that so that we will also encourage people to come on time. We will treat those people with the tickets first, and those who have no ticket, we will treat them at the station and allow them to board. So nobody should panic. They will travel. And my joy in this is that we are able to provide all the services we promised Nigerians that we are going to provide. We never had a failure. Even when we had failure, maybe for some minutes, the train ran to time and got to destination on time. The number of trains and the schedule, we met with it 100%. So there is no cost for alarm. And we improved on what we did earlier because of that insecurity. People don't know that we have to find a way, because immediately after the free train rides we did previously, 3 months after, there was this bad incident in March 29th. So we are it's not what people are seeing now. We are fighting hard to ensure we don't have such a situation, but that by preventing people that we cannot account for, there are people that we don't know their motive for boarding the train. So we have to screen and make sure we get to the proper people that really want to travel, not people who want to enter the train and understudy our system. So that is what people should keep in mind. We, like some instance where people put a train empty on New Year Day, we have 10 coaches on that board. So you don't expect on New Year Day for the old coaches to be filled. And I also beg those who want to, on social media, who want bloggers to follow them, to also learn to publish positive things instead of just negative about government, what government try to do to better the life of people. Thank you.
Let me hold our thoughts there. Mr. Adeni, back to you very quickly. I need you to respond to the issue of monitoring and, coordination going forward, talking about evaluation. You talked about your concerns of having more companies involved in the future.
You see, during the time of when this thing are initiated, we have series of meetings and we give many suggestions. And during that discussion, we agree on so many fronts. All these things that are coming up, it is something that we have discussed. We have it is unforeseen. It is something that we have visioned that such thing may arise, and we have provided so many solutions to these problems. And as such, we even told them, because as if you can remember last year, but April 12th, Road Transport has launched a carry-go, a cashless policy for transportation, that whereby the driver, the passenger, you don't need to with cash or without cash. So we have system that is obtainable, that can work throughout the 774 local government without any fraud, without any fraudulence. And if there is anything, it is easy to access. It's USSD. So it's not, you must carry even a tablet phone, you can obtain such. So all these things we have made arrangements, but we thank government for their effort for doing what they have done so far. But we believe in the near future there will be more wide range coverage of this palliative measure the government have done.
All right, we want to thank you very much, Mr. Yusuf Adeni, for your cooperation with the federal government to ensure that Nigerians benefit from this Great initiative. He's the Secretary General, Road Transport Employees Association of Nigeria, and we also want to thank Mr. Fidet Ohiria, the Managing Director of Nigerian Railway Corporations. Thank you so much for the good job you're doing there. Thank you for joining us on the news. All right, let's take a break. Please don't go anywhere. Thanks for staying tuned. Let's bring you sports update.
We begin with football as African best and Nigerian striker Victor Osimhen says the most important thing for the team at the moment is to go to Cote d'Ivoire and win the tournament. Osimhen stated this while addressing his fellow teammates during the team's dinner in Abu Dhabi, where he was given a standing ovation by the Super Eagles players and officials for winning the CAF African Player of the Year award.
For us to go to Ivory Coast and do so well, as well as winning the tournament. But I believe in this group, we have a bunch of talented players to execute the job.
New Year kickoff of the Nigerian Premier Football League played Saturday saw Doma United beat Katsina United 2-0 to move to the top of the table with 31 points, as Bender Insurance also peeped Enugu Rangers 2-0 to claim the 4th position on the table. Still on football, the 2023 Sanis Lulu Under-13 Fosla Academy Football Tournament ended in Kogi State, with Lokoja FC lifting the trophy after beating Ida FC 4-0 in the finals. Founder of the Football Academy, Sani Lulu, emphasized the need for sports, especially football, to be used as a crucial tool for communal peace and development.
Captain for the Lokoja team for his trophy. Drugs. Captain is here. They should shun the environmental influence, negative environmental influence. Before we continue, take passion in soccer.
Improving the image of the kingdom football-wise, training the children and grooming them up. Some of them are playing internationally.
And finally, to boxing, as promoter Edin Hans said, all is now set for Anthony Joshua to face off against UFC legend Francis Ngannou in a 10-round bout in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. According to Hans, the fight, scheduled for March 9, will take place on the date initially reserved for Joshua's bout against Dalton Wilder, as the reshuffling is coming after Wilder's defeat to Parker. Ngannou, who recently made his debut in professional boxing, where he faced Tyson Fury, is back for another challenge against British heavyweight Joshua. With sports update, Oche Ngbede, NTA News.
Well, let's find out how Sunday weather will fare.
Hello, and glad to have you join us on the weather forecast for Sunday. Mist and fog patches are expected during the early hours of the morning to parts of Rivers, Delta, and Cross River State. It should lift later during the day to patches of clouds in a hazy atmosphere over the southern parts of the country. To the north, central, and the north, sunny and hazy atmosphere is expected. As we go into the day, there are slim chances of isolated thunderstorms to parts of Lagos State. That's all for the forecast. Stand by for the air quality index and weather forecast across some selected cities. I am Theodora Itun. Thank you for watching.
That's Weekend File. Thank you so much for your company. Do have a lovely good night rest. I'm Ruth Aguele. Bye.